Welcome back to another Sidebar interview. We are joined with Charlotte Kaiser at BTG, Pactual Timberland Investment. Welcome.
Thank you, Timberland Investment Group. Sorry, it's a
Timberland
total
Investment
mouthful.
Group. Yes. Well, the Timberland Investment Group is a subsidiary of BTG Pactual, which is the largest investment bank in Latin America.
Yes.
And TIG has returned nearly $3 billion to investors in its 40-plus years of operation. So for those watching who may not understand how Timberland Investment works, can you please explain a little bit about how the returns are generated?
Yeah, for sure. So we're a Timberland Investment Management Organization, or a TIMO. We basically own land and grow trees on it. And then we sell those trees mostly on the stump to make wood products. So pulp, paper, dimensional lumber, long-lived wood products. And the returns are generated from the sale of that wood as well as from the appreciation of the underlying asset, which is the land. And there's a little bit from inflation as well.
And you're the head of impact finance. Can you elucidate a little bit what particularly is behind the word impact and paint a picture of what these transactions look like?
Sure. So we seek to be the most biodiversity positive TIMO. And I was hired about a year and a half ago to lead that charge, to create an impact framework wherein we're good stewards, we're good neighbors, and we're industry leaders for people and planet. And we do that in a number of ways. I'd say most prominently, we have collaborations with two of the world's largest environmental NGOs, the Nature Conservancy and Conservation International, who serve as impact and conservation advisors on two of our core strategies to try to maximize the benefit that we can deliver for biodiversity as well as climate.
Awesome.
Yeah, and research shows that restoration, protection, and improved management of forests represent nearly 75% of the total global natural climate solution opportunities. How would you describe where the broader sustainable timberland investment space is right now?
Sure, and I should say that, the timber industry is a sustainable industry, right? We are very good stewards of our assets. We harvest trees and we replant them and grow new trees. And so it's a sustainable resource base that is the source of about half of the world's wood products, managed forests, even though they're only 7% of the world's timberland. So I think there's a huge opportunity to expand forest and protect existing standing forests to deliver both increased supply of wood products and climate solutions.
Some research I did before coming here to talk to you from EY, talking about how the growing awareness around climate change and the rising demand for timber products has made Timberland Investment a, quote, gold mine. How do we collectively, as this Bloom community here for the first time, how do we ensure that that gold mine is not overexploited?
Yeah, it's such a good question. And I think that stat I just cited, that 7% of the world's forests are managed and they're 50% of the world's wood products. So that means that 50% of the world's wood products are coming from natural forests, and that's a threat, right? And so what we really want to do is grow the asset class of managed forests. I looked at that same research, and the kind of key takeaway is that sustainable forestry is an emerging star of net zero investment strategies. And so really I would encourage people interested in the sector to take a look at participants and make sure that they're meeting those high standards that we do feel we set as an industry. And I would say the asset class needs to grow so that we can really deliver on both the kind of supply needs of a growing population, but also the climate needs of the planet. We've heard over and over this week that nature can be a third of the climate solutions that we need to deliver to meet our Paris targets, and forestry is a huge part of that. And it's not just growing trees, but it's also delivering long-lived wood products that can substitute for very high carbon intensity materials like steel and concrete. We see mass timber kind of becoming a burgeoning new industry. We're excited about that at TIG, and we're excited about ways that wood can become a bigger part of the circular bioeconomy.
Great. And with about 40 seconds left on the clock, I'd like to ask you, what is one thing that you would want the average person to understand about this industry, and a misconception that you want to bust?
Sure. Managed timberland is sustainable. I think that's really the biggest takeaway. Our industry clears a very high bar for sustainability. As I said, there's a really big misconception that cutting down trees is a damaging thing to do, and in a managed forest that's well managed by a responsible owner, cutting down trees is a great thing to do because it takes that carbon that tree is sequestered and puts it into a product, and it grows a new tree to sequester more carbon. And so it's really key to the solution, I think, for nature-based solutions to climate.
Wow,
Awesome.
thank you so much. We
Thank you so
appreciate
much
you.
for joining
pleasure.
us. We've been with Charlotte Kaiser of BTG Pactual Timberland Investment Group. Can't
Thank
forget
you
the
so
group.
much.
Yes.